Hey guys, it's the Alchemist here, and today we're going to be doing an unboxing video of the Memento Mori deck by Ramsay and Murphy's Magic. So let's get into it. So this is what the box looks like. On the face of the box there's the design of a skull, which is filled in with various colors, which shades from a light pink to a purple to blue to green and to a slightly darker shade and eventually to black. The design continues on the side and onto the back, slightly on the back. So the phrase Memento Mori means remember death in Latin, and that is essentially why I guess the skull was chosen as the design for the box and the back design, is because the skull should represent death. Here's a small history of the phrase Memento Mori. During the Roman times, when the Romans went to war and came back victorious, the Caesar or the general would stand at the back and come dressed as a god to show that they are very powerful, that they are very victorious. And someone would whisper into his ear that he is only human, that he is a mere mortal. So he would say Memento Mori, which means remember death. So essentially the skull here on the box should resemble death, as I guess to tell us that we are only mortal, that we are only human, that we are eventually going to die. So as we open the flap of the box, you will notice it says Memento Mori on the flap, and the inside is white and everything else is white. There's nothing on the side flaps and everything else is white. And let's have a look at the cards. So the interior of the box is white as well. So now let's have a look at the cards itself. So this is what the back design of the deck looks like. It shows two skulls facing each other. It is a two-way back design, and it is essentially the same design that was on the box earlier, kind of stained glass design that goes from a light purple, a light pink to blue to green, and a slight gold or yellow at the corner. And it has borders with black lining on it, which should look good in fans. So we'll be looking at that later. And one thing I actually forgot to mention was that the borders goes from a black lining and fades off to almost nothing. It fades from the thick line to a white, which I find kind of interesting because you don't see that much nowadays on decks, on playing cards. And I also like how the borders are very thin. I believe they're called pencil borders or something like that, I'm not too sure. And yeah, they look kind of cool. And let's take a moment to also appreciate how beautifully designed the back design really was. I mean, the variety of colors on the back design give it a very interesting look, a very attractive and very appealing look. So yeah, this would definitely be a crowd attractor. So this deck comes with two jokers. This is the logo of Ramsay, and yeah, it has the same colors that was featured on the back design and the box. A kind of stained glass tone going from a pink to a gold at the end. It kind of also looks like the all-seeing eye. So yeah, this is what the jokers look like. So this deck also does come with one card that has the URL to the Murphy's Magic website with a black and white back design, and it also has a card that tells a short story of the Memento Mori, and it also has this the design of the skull in the background, and the back design is the same as the other cards. So now let's have a look at the cards themselves. The cards look really good in spreads, simply because of the very colorful back design and the borders, and they also look really good in fans. Also because of the borders, and depending on which kind of fan you do, more or less of the design would appear. For example, if I were to use slightly more than a quarter of the deck and I were to make a fan, you would see more of the design, more of the color, the blue and the green and the purple. However, if I were to do a fan with slightly more than half of the deck, you would see pretty much only the green and the yellow, and that's about it. So the Ace of Spades in this deck features the same colors and the same stained glass of the box and the back design, and it looks really cool. I mean, it has a slight 3D effect like the back design and the box, and yeah. And you will notice all the pips have a dark to light tone on it. It is not exactly black, it is more of a dark purple, and the court cards are 100% custom. They're also one way, and they go from the pink to the blue to the green and to the yellow, exactly the same as the back design and the box. For the diamonds, they have a slightly similar color as the spade, however they are slightly lighter. They have a lighter shade than the spades. And the court cards look pretty much the same as the spades. The court cards have been also customized to look like they have the stained glass design on it. And the Ace of Diamonds looks like any basic Ace of Diamonds, except the pip has been given a 3D effect with some toning in it. For the clubs, the court cards look pretty much the same as the others. And as for the design of the pips themselves, they have a slightly more a sharper, a more geometric look than the average club, which is normally just three very smooth curves. If you look closely at this one, they're more of like hexagons, 3 hexagons tied together. Alright, and the Ace of Clubs, just like the spades, it goes from a dark to a lighter shade of purple. And last but not least, the hearts. Court cards look the same, and they are the same color as the diamonds earlier, and the Ace of Hearts looks like an Ace of Hearts, except the hearts has a slightly more geometric look as well. So all the pips, all the hearts have a more geometric look than the average hearts. Now let's have a look at the deck's handling. The deck springs very well. It has a very thin stock, so it feels really good in the hands. It dribbles really well, it feels really good, it fans beautifully. And if not mistaken, the deck has a magic finish. It also spreads very well. It has a very beautiful look on it. And now we're gonna give the deck a shuffle. The deck shuffles very good. The deck has a very thin stock, so it feels very good for card manipulation and stuff. However, this deck can also be used for Magic, but I would not recommend it to be used for Magic simply because the deck has a 100% custom coloring and custom design, so people would eventually suspect that the deck has been rigged or something, but there's nothing really wrong with the deck. So if you want to go ahead and use this deck to do Magic, it's fine really. However, it would be preferred to be used for card manipulation and cardistry. So the deck cuts really well. It feels really good to do a double lift and stuff. Now let's try to do Pharaoh Shuffle. So this deck does have a modern cut. It does not have a traditional cut. So it should Pharaoh like most decks nowadays. So as you can see, it is not a perfect Pharaoh, but that's because I'm just really bad at doing the Pharaoh Shuffle. So, alright, it can Pharaoh well, it's just that I'm not that good at doing the Pharaoh Shuffle. Let's see what it looks like in a giant fan. Alright. So giant fan looks really good actually. It looks good because of the different colors on the back design. So it really stands out when you make the giant fan. So that's it for the deck unboxing and review today. Thanks for watching. Please like and share and subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good night.